Hi, my name is Rob, and today I will talk about the Science Center and some of the news surrounding the Science Center and some of the controversies. I'll look at um, some of the news around it, some old reports. So first, I will look at the value for money audit that the Auditor General did. This is a report that's been going on for a while. This was December 2023. I mean, this is a controversy that has been going on for a long time. So the report was made in December 2023. It's about the two Ontario Science Centres. So some of the highlights that I've made from this report was that there was a decline in attendance and membership, and there was a pedestrian bridge connecting the main entrance to exhibition halls that was unsafe and not in use, and the capital repairs and maintenance increasingly mounting to about 370 million, and aging exhibits in need of a refresh. Some of the exhibits were not changed in over 18 years, I believe I read. So 2016, the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Sports first engaged Infrastructure Ontario, a provincial agency under the Ministry of Infrastructure, to complete a business case on how to modernize the Ontario Science Centre, with one option to reopen at Ontario Place with a new building and new exhibits. And as a result of deferred maintenance, and this is in 2016, the status quo was not available, and no action was taken at that time in 2016. And 2016 was a previous government, previous political party. One of the highlights was that the decision to relocate Ontario Science Centre did not include all costs for both options assessed, relocated, and rehabilitation of the current site. Now, I know that... I'll go back. I know that the current news is that there was a report that indicated that part of the roof collapsed and the Ontario Science Centre needed to close immediately. There's a lot of people that are disputing that and saying that the Science Centre could remain open. There's also an environmental case for the Ontario Science Centre to remain open. As well. And so I'll get into that, the current situation. But I want to give a background of the history. And then the report did say in recent news it was that the Science Centre was not safe after October because of the risk of heavy snowfall. So I'll go back. So the April 2023 proposal, the cost-benefit analysis found of both options were not fully identified and determined. Financing, transaction, and legal costs projected under the public-private partnership model to design, build, and finance, maintain the new site in Ontario Place were not included in the analysis. Similar costs for the repairs and upgrade to the Ontario Science Center were also not included. And then an attendance study in 2022 noted that suburban families and repeat visitors or a core market for Ontario Science Centre would have longer travel distance to Ontario Place than the current site. Until the implementation of a subway or light rail links to Ontario Place, access by car and difficulty with parking would be a limiting factor on attendance. And I believe that they said that it would be like 2030, so there would be a couple of years where there would be a limiting factor based on available lack of access to a subway or light rail. This is not surprising. Discussions with the City of Toronto before the decision was made to relocate were limited in any substance or detail, and the Toronto Region Conservation Authority and large school boards within the Greater Toronto Area directly impacted by the relocation were not consulted. Now, I have made a video specifically on what the Toronto Conservation has said about the move. They were against the move for environmental reasons. The site is not a good site to build housing on top of because of the wetlands and steep slopes involved. So there's a lot of considerations with that. And I don't have that video lined up, but I could probably find it. So I'll just one moment while I line that up. Actually, yeah, I can probably link it, and I'll link it in the comments or as a thumbnail in the video. If you're interested in watching that. Is anyone in the chat? Let me see if I can open this up on my phone as well. Okay, so there isn't really anyone in the chat. I just wanted to make sure. I have to. I didn't have it open on my other screen, so. Anyways, I should go to the facilities and I'll be back momentarily. Okay, so I am back. And I will continue talking about the alcohol. Oh, I went to the wrong page. Okay. So, yeah, there wasn't really a conversation with the Conservation Authority. There was a 99 lease with the City of Toronto, and Conservation Authority, and they don't have the right to terminate the lease. The boards will not ask about input on relocating. High schools make up 25% of visitors to Ontario Science Centre. There's no fabrication facility included in the functional plan of the relocated Science Centre, which is a problem because there was revenue that would be lost. Repeatedly, maintenance projects were denied funding even when they were at risk of critical failure. Oh, I didn't change back to the document. And 370 million, not including fixing a bridge, was included in this. And then since 2017, 42 projects deemed critical and at risk of failure have not been repaired. And 7 projects have been put forward in at least 3 of the past 5 years. This report was made in 2023 and were denied funding each time. The Science Centre Planetarium has been closed to the public since September 2022 because of capital repairs and ongoing technical issues. Shutting down the pedestrian bridge cost $2.4 million and negatively impacted visitor experience. The average age of the exhibits at Ontario Science Centre at the time of the audit was about 14 years old. And then I'm skipping a bunch of pages. So this is one of the highlighted areas. There's no discussions with key stakeholders about the decision to downsize. There was a report in 2009 that talked about the need to potential move. Oh, where did I go? Um, 2016, there was a business case proposed. There was a survey, but the survey contained no questions related to the potential relocation of the Ontario Science Centre. The shutting down or relocating the Ontario Science Centre facility was not discussed in any substance or detail with the City of Toronto, even though the possibility of incorporating science programming at Ontario Place was discussed. There was a town hall for the public on April 27th, 2003, after the relocation was announced. So oftentimes, public participation occurs after a decision is made. Feedback was mostly negative. There was concerns about traffic congestion, lack of transparency, etc. Cost for parking was not included. I think there was a bit about they have to maintain parking at the existing sites. Some businesses, some companies will are no longer associated with the Ontario Place redevelopment. So they talked about like the Don Mills. Well, the government talked about the relocation being for housing, and as I already talked about, there was a risk of the facility. They talked about like that there would be criticism. There was less space for exhibits and no facilities for the fabrication of exhibits, which was kind of important. The Toronto Catholic District School Board, Rome Catholic School Board noted that the relocation would negatively impact the school's attendance due to long distances and higher transportation cost. And then there was a survey of 300 teachers. 46% indicated that they were less likely to attend a new location due to distance and transportation concerns. 18% indicated that existing and or new location are too far or not affordable for them to attend. And then there was a statement, much of Postal B is located within, was the map showing Postal B? Oh, Postal B? Yes, and Postal B looks like a huge part of the site. Significant enough. So 50 acres, 27 of the 50 acres are protected of Parcel B. So flooding is a risk. The Toronto Conservation Authority has publicly noted that floodplains, watercourses, wetlands, and steep ravine slopes make construction impractical and potentially inadvisable around downriver ravine lands and sensitive habitats for multiple bird, mammal species, turtles, and amphibians at Ontario Science Centre's location. And then there's like cultural heritage, and then it goes into some of the recommendations. Yeah, so okay. So I'll go to transition. So now I'm talking about the current situation. I'm not sure how much I got to highlight of the current situation. We'll just okay, so I highlighted some. So this is the report from March 8th, 2023. Oh, that's the business case. Okay. I don't want that. Okay, I guess I didn't highlight this report. So, but I will transition to it and go through it. So it's by Wimkus, June 18th, 2024. And after this report, the government cancelled right away. Okay, so signatures. So they're talking about the reinforced autoclaved aerated concrete is to conform the present as and location. Um, is prepared for exclusive use of infrastructural material, Ministry of Infrastructure, and government agencies and ministries. Okay, and then they talk about what reinforced autoclaved aerated concrete is, and they said that it's potential to degrade due to water infiltration. So they're saying in order to mitigate all risks associated with rock, it is recommended that all rock roof panels be replaced in their entirety with new steel deck in alignment with the next roofing assembly renewal. That's not the entire roof, only some portions of it. Um, and then they said immediate installation of shoring for all critical risk panels. These locations were identified immediately to the client and work was completed prior to report preparation, showing to remain in place until panel remediation has been included. Oh, they gave options. Okay, so option one, restricted access or full closure to prevent any persons from walking in areas where high risk panels are present. So they didn't say that the science center had to close. They said that there had to be restricted access. But they chose the government chose full closure, um, which they didn't have to do according to this report. Option 2, installation of temporary shoring, reinforcement supporting the underside of rock panels. And then option 3, if shoring is not possible, installation of horizontal holding near the underside of hard ceiling levels or the building infrastructures. Um, the above three options are listed in order of preference, so option 1, it makes sense to go with that. Um, and then it goes on to say 2% of the roof panels within the combined rock panel roof areas were placed into high risk. 6% of rock panels were placed into medium risk. The remaining rock panels, 92%, were placed in low risk. So significant snow or rain loading occurrence could exceed the reduced load carrying capacity of distressed panels, placing them at increased risk of sudden collapse. And then those costs. And then there's some more background. Scope of work. Okay, and then there was like a list of items, so I think I'm in the appendix. Oh, and then recommendations. Okay. Um, so they recommended that all risks associated with rock roof panels to be replaced with new steel deck in alignment with the next roofing assembly renewal. Um, oh, let's see. Oh, those attachment B, and then the table 7. So this is like basically rail. It's recommended that all rock panels should be replaced at the time of the next scheduled roof replacement in order to completely eliminate rock panel risk. Okay, so and then let's see. I'm going to look at some news articles, Ontario Science. Some news articles. This one looks interesting. This is from CP24. So I'll play this video. If not, I'll just read the article from John Woodward. Um, so they're not sure why the other options, other than like complete closure, won't considered. This is
A rally was held today by the Save Ontario Science Centre group following the abrupt closure of the building on Friday. The Science Centre was built in the 1960s, and the Ford government says a recent engineering report identified serious structural deficiencies, which made the occupation of the building unsafe. The building in the Thorncliffe Park neighborhood has been a staple for students learning about science and technology. The province has already stated their intention to build a new science centre at the Ontario Place grounds, but that one isn't set to open until 2028.
This is just a scam. I think it's a scam, right? I think the government is scamming Ontarians. This is always and only ever has been about a deal that they've made with some developers and a luxury spa company in downtown Toronto to build this luxury spa. And that's all that this has ever been about. And I suspect we will learn pretty soon that there's also some other developers who are going to benefit from the closure of the Science Centre.
Overwhelming response from the community. We gathered together.
Yeah, it's interesting that the Liberal leader is at the Save Ontario Place rally, even though, well, this is a new leader, to be fair, but the Liberals have denied funding to protect the Science Centre. So that's interesting. And I know that the Green Party leader was also present, Mike Schreiner. I don't know if that particular day he was present, but I know that the Green Party is involved. I haven't watched this clip. And yeah, the spa is a huge controversy because it's privatized. It takes up a lot of space, and there's a lot of trees trees that will be cut down as well, impacting existing wetlands. So I'll go back to that video.
And reverse the decision on the Greenbelt, and we're going to gather together and fight and reverse this decision as well. Doug Ford has neglected our public institutions.
So, Bonnie Kwame has specifically said that she would not. She was open to developing on the Greenbelt previously, but hopefully she sticks to her word here.
Neglected our healthcare system and neglected our education system, and he has neglected the Science Centre. And for a fraction of the $1 billion of your money that he's using to expedite beer and wine sales, he could have invested that back into the Science Centre, the gem of the Don Valley community, to rehabilitate it and give it a longer life.
My constituency office is in a crisis mode because families and parents are being thrown into a tailspin. They don't know where they're going to be able to send their children for camps. Summer visits have been canceled, in one fell swoop. People are suffering. Our local businesses are now.
Yeah, so this is another level MPP.
Going to see lower foot traffic, and it's going to impact the economic prosperity in the region as well.
When I was about 4 years old, I went to the Science Centre for the first time, and I remember one of the first things we saw was the planetarium, where all of the stars, asteroids, you could see all of them zoomed in close, and it really made me fascinated about what's out there. And that wasn't the end. I got to see the rest of the Science Centre, and I think just looking at the exhibits, seeing what other people were able to make and bring to kids, really made me want to do something similar myself.
At the moment, there is no plan for an immediate replacement location to bridge the long gap before the eventual move to Ontario Place.
Okay, so that was the video. I can
Hell
look at
is spicy.
well,
Every squeeze of rich creaminess is deliciously spicy.
I don't want that. Um, yeah, so that was reporting about the Ontario Science Centre. Um, I don't. Yeah, the article is different from the video. Okay, so John Woodward is saying that the engineers' report relied on by the provincial government to justify closure of the Ontario Science Centre in the name of safety, because other options to proceed that could still save the iconic venue. um, and then those some people that were interviewed. University of Toronto professor of public management Stanford Bowens is asking why other options weren't considered that were listed in the report. And then the individual says, the professor is saying that it seems, this is a quote, it seems to me that they have already come to the conclusion they wanted to close the building, and consultant report was a great justification for doing that. So it appears that I've been called away. So I've been called away. So I will end my stream now, and yeah, I'll talk to you sometime in the future. I hope to do this more often. Go through some of the news and some of the reports more in depth. I don't see anyone in the chat, so I hope that you enjoy your evening.